Let's imagine for a moment, as night falls atop Mount Moriah, the moonlight casts a soft glow. There, a man kneels, his shoulders trembling in the cold wind. That man is Abraham. He has just endured the most agonizing trial of his life. For centuries, this moment has been retold as a testament to unwavering faith, the moment a father was willing to sacrifice his only son. But what if there's more to this story? Hidden deep within the ancient pages of the Ethiopian Bible lies a detail, one that has been forgotten with the passage of time. A detail so profound, it doesn't just challenge how we understand this story, it raises an even greater question. What if Abraham's true test wasn't his willingness to sacrifice Isaac, but something far more difficult? Today, we will uncover a truth buried for millennia. Imagine a moment when everything you believe in is challenged. For thousands of years, we've known the story of Abraham, a father willing to sacrifice his only son in the name of faith. But deep within the ancient caves of Ethiopia lies a different version of this story, a version that could completely transform how we understand faith and trials. The Ethiopian Bible doesn't tell the tale of a father blindly obeying. Instead, it unveils the profound inner struggle of a man facing the greatest test of his life. In the ancient Ge'ez texts, we see Abraham wrestling in the darkness of the night, speaking with the Creator, asking the very questions we too might have asked. How can I distinguish between true faith and blind obedience? Was the real test in the act of sacrifice, or in the struggle to grasp its deeper meaning? Now, before we dive into these extraordinary discoveries, ask yourself, when confronted with life's greatest challenges, what is truly harder, making the sacrifice or finding meaning in the sacrifice itself? Imagine a journey through time. It begins in the opulent palace of King Solomon in ancient Jerusalem. It was here that an extraordinary story unfolded, a moment when the Queen of Sheba returned to Ethiopia with more than just gold and precious jewels. She carried back a treasure far greater, sacred texts that would one day form the foundation of the Ethiopian Bible. But the true marvel of this tale lies not in its royal origins. High atop Ethiopia's rugged mountain peaks, in secluded monasteries, generations of monks have undertaken an extraordinary mission, preserving ancient teachings in the sacred Ge'ez language, a language now reserved solely for religious rites. Every page of scripture was meticulously copied by hand, as if each word held the keys to a spiritual treasure of immeasurable value. And then, by the early 20th century, a discovery sent shockwaves through Western academia. The Ethiopian Bible wasn't just another version of the scriptures. It was a unique repository containing stories never before encountered, including the legendary Book of Enoch, long thought to have been lost to history. What truly sets the Ethiopian Bible apart is not just the additional books it contains, but the profound depth with which it recounts familiar stories. Take the story of Abraham, for instance. It doesn't simply depict a father obediently leading his son up Mount Moriah. Instead, it unveils the inner turmoil of a man grappling with the greatest test of his life. Sleepless nights spent in dialogue with the Creator. Silent tears shed in the stillness of the dark. A relentless quest to uncover the deeper meaning of faith. Today, when the ancient Ge'ez scriptures echo through the hallowed halls of Ethiopia's timeless churches, they are more than just prayers. They are a bridge between past and present, between humanity and the divine, and they pose questions as profound as the scriptures themselves. What is the true essence of faith, and what does it really mean to sacrifice? Imagine a moonless night in the ancient land of Canaan. Inside his tent, Abraham lies awake, his eyes staring into the darkness. Tomorrow, he faces the unimaginable, leading his only son up Mount Moriah. But according to the Ethiopian Bible, that night wasn't merely about the anguish of a father on the brink of loss. It was the night of a profound dialogue between a soul in turmoil and its creator. The Ethiopian Bible recounts these hours in a way unlike any other. While other versions of the Bible emphasize Abraham's obedience, the Ethiopian text plunges into his inner struggle. Scholars studying the ancient Ge'ez manuscripts have discovered extraordinary details. passages revealing that Abraham spent 3 nights in dialogue with the Creator before beginning his journey. On the first night, Abraham's question wasn't about sacrificing Isaac. It was about the nature of faith itself. How can I be certain this is your will? This question echoes through the pages of the Ethiopian Bible, offering a rarely explored dimension of faith, the tension between blind obedience and profound understanding. The second night took the dialogue even deeper. The Ethiopian Bible portrays Abraham wrestling not just with the loss of his son, but with the very nature of divine love. How could a loving Creator demand such a cruel act? This part of the text reveals a stunning truth. The test wasn't about obedience alone. It was about reconciling the seeming contradictions in our understanding of love and faith. By the third night, the Ethiopian Bible unveils perhaps the most profound truth of all. Abraham was no longer simply confronting the act of sacrifice. He was questioning the essence of the relationship between humanity and the divine. The text describes Abraham asking, "Does true faith mean accepting everything without question? Or does it involve daring to question, to engage in dialogue with the Creator, as a child would with a parent?" When dawn finally broke, the Ethiopian Bible tells us, Abraham arose with a renewed understanding. The test wasn't about whether he had the courage to sacrifice Isaac. It was about whether he could maintain his faith while daring to question, while striving to engage deeply with the divine. This radically different perspective challenges us to reconsider the very meaning of faith. As Abraham and Isaac climbed Mount Moriah, the Ethiopian text reveals a story far richer in detail than most are familiar with. When Isaac asked about the sacrificial lamb, Abraham's reply was not the simple, "God will provide the lamb," found in other versions. Instead, it was the start of a deeper conversation, one about trust and faith. Remarkably, the Ethiopian Bible suggests that Isaac wasn't entirely unaware of what was unfolding. The text portrays him sensing something unusual in his father's behavior. Yet rather than reacting with fear or resistance, Isaac demonstrated a faith of his own. Not a blind faith, but one rooted in profound trust. Trust in his father, and trust in the Creator. The Ethiopian Bible's account of the decisive moment on Mount Moriah is profoundly different. It describes not only Abraham's physical act of raising the knife, but the storm of thoughts and emotions raging within him. This wasn't the act of mechanical obedience. It was the culmination of a spiritual journey, where faith, doubt, obedience, dialogue, love, and sacrifice intertwined in ways almost too complex to comprehend. When the angel intervened, the Ethiopian Bible portrays it as far more than a command to stop. It was a moment of revelation. Abraham realized that the true test had already been completed. In the sleepless nights of dialogue with the Creator, in the heavy, deliberate steps up the mountain, in the relentless struggle to reconcile love with faith. And then, another striking detail emerges. After the angel's intervention, Abraham didn't simply return to life as it was before. He took time to sit with Isaac and explain the nature of faith. This wasn't a father justifying his actions. It was a man sharing the wisdom gained from a profound spiritual journey. Abraham spoke of how true faith is not blind. True faith involves a willingness to question, to engage, and to hold firm, even in the darkest, most uncertain moments. The Ethiopian Bible suggests that after this event, Abraham's relationship with the Creator evolved. No longer was it one of simple command and obedience. It became deeper, more mature, a relationship where faith and dialogue coexisted in harmony. This interpretation challenges us today. When faced with trials of faith, do we dare to engage in dialogue with the divine, as Abraham did? Or do we passively accept, afraid to question, or seek deeper meaning in our struggles? The Ethiopian Bible's unique portrayal of the angel's intervention completely reframes the story's climax. It wasn't just about sparing Isaac. It was about Abraham's realization that the essence of his trial didn't lie in the moment he raised the knife. It lay in those long, sleepless nights of dialogue, in the journey to the mountain, and in the profound struggle to understand the true meaning of faith and sacrifice. Through this lens, the story of Abraham transforms into something far greater. It becomes a timeless exploration of what it means to hold on to faith while daring to question, love while wrestling with doubt, and obey while preserving one's identity and understanding. Perhaps this is the Ethiopian Bible's ultimate message. The greatest test of faith isn't in the act of sacrifice itself. It's in the courage to maintain an authentic, questioning, and deeply engaged relationship with the divine, even in the face of our greatest trials. And so we are left with a question of our own. Was Abraham's true test really at the summit of Mount Moriah? Or was it in those long nights of dialogue? In the moments when he wrestled to grasp the deeper meaning of faith and sacrifice? There are moments in life when we face decisions that can change everything. Times when the line between right and wrong blurs, and our faith is tested to its very core. It is in those moments that we come to truly understand the story of Abraham, not as a distant lesson on faith, but as a mirror reflecting the deepest struggles within our own souls. The Ethiopian Bible offers details about Abraham's inner dialogue that go far beyond adding nuance to the narrative. They challenge how we have traditionally understood the nature of faith. While conventional interpretations emphasize absolute obedience, the Ethiopian Bible reveals something far richer, that faith can coexist with dialogue, with doubt, and even with challenge. Think about the moments in your own life when you faced difficult decisions. How many times have you told yourself that true faith means accepting everything without question? The Ethiopian Bible suggests we may have misunderstood. Mature faith, as Abraham demonstrates, is not about abandoning the ability to think or question. It is the capacity to maintain belief while daring to engage with the uncertainties of what we believe. This perspective is especially relevant in today's world. Many wrestle with the tension between religious faith and critical thinking, but the Ethiopian Bible shows us something profound. These are not opposites. Through Abraham's story, we see that the deepest faith often emerges from confronting tough questions, acknowledging doubts, and still maintaining a connection to the divine. In the modern age, this lesson takes on even greater significance. When life's challenges leave us questioning, we often wonder, does questioning mean a lack of faith? The Ethiopian Bible suggests otherwise. It implies that questioning and inner struggle are not signs of weakness. They are the pathways to a more profound and authentic faith. This is why the story of Abraham's trial in the Ethiopian Bible remains so powerful. It is not just about a father willing to sacrifice his son. It is about a human being willing to engage in dialogue with the Creator, to ask questions, and through that process to discover a deeper, more mature faith. This perspective not only challenges how we've understood faith in the past, but also offers a new framework for practicing faith today. When we confront big questions about life's meaning, morality, and difficult decisions, the Ethiopian Bible provides a model, a blueprint for reflection and growth. In an era dominated by information and science, many feel they must choose between reason and faith. Yet the Ethiopian Bible suggests this is a false choice. Abraham's dialogue with the Creator reveals a powerful truth. Mature faith can and should include the capacity for critical thinking. This doesn't weaken faith, it deepens it, it enriches it. Another profound insight from the Ethiopian Bible lies in its portrayal of the relationship between humans and the divine. This is not a one-sided dynamic of command and obedience. It is a dialogue, a space where humans can share their worries, their doubts, and their questions. True faith, the Ethiopian Bible teaches us, does not require abandoning our humanity. Instead, it asks us to integrate it with our spirituality. In today's world, where so many seek meaning and purpose, this lesson is more valuable than ever. It allows us to see life's trials not as mere tests of faith, but as opportunities. Opportunities to develop a deeper relationship with our beliefs. Ultimately, the Ethiopian Bible poses an essential question. Are we limiting ourselves in how we understand faith? Perhaps like Abraham, we need the courage not only to believe, but also to question, to engage in dialogue, and through that, to uncover new depths in our spiritual journey. In Abraham's story, as told in the Ethiopian Bible, faith is not passive. It is not a simple acceptance of divine will. It is an active process, a journey of wrestling with doubts, seeking understanding, and maintaining trust, even amidst uncertainty. This kind of faith doesn't just endure trials, it transforms them into moments of growth, of revelation, and of profound connection. In this way, the Ethiopian Bible offers us something timeless. Not just a new way to understand Abraham's trial, but a guide, a compass for navigating our own struggles with faith, meaning, and the complexities of being human. In today's increasingly complex world, we often face decisions that force us to choose between equally important values. Imagine a doctor torn between saving a patient's life and honoring their wish not to be treated. Or a journalist weighing the disclosure of truth against protecting a confidential source. These situations, though vastly different from Abraham's trial on Mount Moriah, share the same essence. Moments where our faith and ethics are tested to their absolute limits. The Ethiopian Bible, through its retelling of Abraham's trial, offers us a new framework for confronting such dilemmas. Instead of viewing faith as blind obedience, this ancient text reveals something far deeper. Mature faith involves dialogue, struggle, and the search for meaning in every challenge. In a modern world where the lines between right and wrong are often blurred, this lesson couldn't be more relevant. We are often conditioned to believe that strong faith means having immediate answers to every problem. Yet, the Ethiopian Bible shows us the opposite. Sometimes, the deepest expressions of faith emerge from moments of wrestling with difficult questions. This perspective applies directly to the challenges we face every day. A woman grappling with the decision to leave her career to care for aging parents. A leader making a choice that will impact countless lives. These aren't simple right or wrong moments. These are defining moments. Moments that shape our faith and our character. Just as Abraham's journey up Mount Moriah shaped his. The Ethiopian Bible reminds us that in such moments, faith is not about silencing doubts or fears. It is about confronting them honestly while holding on to a belief in something greater. This lesson feels especially vital in our time, where many feel caught between the traditions of faith and the demands of modern life. One of the Ethiopian Bible's most profound insights is its depiction of Abraham's inner dialogue. In a world consumed by the rush of daily life, how often do we pause to listen to our inner voice? Abraham's nights of conversation with the Creator remind us of the importance of stopping, to reflect, to wrestle with our thoughts, to engage in deep dialogue with ourselves, with others, and with the divine. These moments of reflection are not just beneficial, they are essential for spiritual maturity. In an age that values quick answers over thoughtful consideration, the Ethiopian Bible invites us to do something revolutionary. To embrace uncertainty, to see it not as a weakness, but as an integral part of faith. One of the most profound lessons of the Ethiopian Bible is its redefinition of spiritual maturity. In a time when everything demands immediate clarity and solutions, Abraham's story reminds us of a vital truth. Periods of uncertainty and struggle are not obstacles to faith. They are essential to its development. This lesson feels especially relevant when facing life-changing decisions. Choosing a career path that defies family expectations, navigating a pivotal relationship, adapting to major life changes. The Ethiopian Bible suggests that these tests of faith are not simply about making the right choice. They are about how we grow through the process of making that choice. Sometimes the process of seeking the answer is more important than the answer itself. Just as Abraham spent 3 nights in dialogue before his journey, we too need time and space for meaningful conversations with ourselves, with those around us, and with the values we hold dear. This perspective is particularly important when it comes to teaching faith and values to younger generations. Rather than presenting rigid rules, we can encourage them to ask questions, to explore, to develop their own personal relationship with their beliefs. The Ethiopian Bible shows us that questions and doubts are not signs of weak faith. They are natural and necessary parts of spiritual growth. In a society increasingly divided by differences in belief and perspective, Abraham's story reminds us, even in the most challenging situations, it is possible to maintain dialogue, to seek understanding. In the digital age, where we are often caught in a cycle of rapid reactions and snap judgments, Abraham's 3 nights of dialogue offer a timeless lesson. They remind us to slow down, think deeply, and seek meaning in life's trials. For young people navigating the pressures of social media and societal expectations of success, Abraham's story speaks directly to their struggles. It shows that even in moments of doubt and darkness, strength can be found, not only in faith, but in the courage to dialogue, reflect, and search for deeper meaning in life's challenges. Perhaps the most important lesson is not about achieving perfect faith. It is about living a life of authentic faith, a life where we dare to face difficult questions, acknowledge our doubts, and still find purpose and meaning in the journey. The Ethiopian Bible challenges us to see life's trials not as threats to faith, but as opportunities to deepen it. By embracing the struggles, uncertainties, and questions that come our way, we can cultivate a faith that is not only resilient, but transformative. A faith that grows not despite the challenges, but because of them. The journey of exploring Abraham's trial has led us to an entirely new perspective on the essence of faith. What we've uncovered is not just a story of absolute obedience. It's a profound journey of dialogue, struggle, and spiritual growth. Abraham's true test wasn't confined to the moment on Mount Moriah. It began in the long nights of conversation with the Creator, in the hours he wrestled to understand the deeper meaning of faith and sacrifice. This challenges the way we often perceive the relationship between humanity and the divine. Every day, we face our own trials, and like Abraham, we need the courage not just to act, but to ask questions, to engage in dialogue, and to seek deeper meaning in the challenges we encounter. So, the question is, what does this tell us about the nature of faith? Is true faith blind obedience, or is it the ability to maintain dialogue, even in the most challenging moments? I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story, your experiences with life's trials, could help others see their own faith in a new light. Remember, the real test isn't in the destination, it's in the journey we undertake to get there. And sometimes, it's in the moments of struggle and dialogue that we discover the deepest truths about ourselves and about our faith. If you'd like to continue uncovering more mysteries of the Ethiopian Bible, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss the next video.